Okay, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Let's look at what health, and also I guess it will affect the way some of us live our lives. I'm talking about the brew. Might not even be the brew. We're talking here about sachet drinks. Alcohol dispensed, sold, packaged in sachets. It's out. Come the 1st of January 2026, it won't be available anymore. It won't be for sale anymore. So as I recall, there are all sorts of sachets, but I wonder if Chelsea is not one of the most visible. You see them all over. However, let's talk about that today. The government has indeed, there's now an order that those things should be stopped, should be banned. And so from the 1st of January 2026, you won't be able to buy your favorite alcoholic drink in a sachet form. Among the reasons that NAFDAC has proffered is that, look, this is not a punitive thing. In fact, it's a protective thing. That thing is so small, and it's alcohol. It's easily concealable. And so it is actually adding to societal problems. Minors, people who are not supposed to touch alcohol now have access. Anyhow, since it's the wholesomeness of the citizenry that health authorities and NAFDAC is concerned with, the sachet pack for alcoholic drinks is out. Now, our guest this morning is Mr. Jacob Okpanachi. Mr. Jacob Okpanachi is he's the President, Social Transparency and Youth Leadership Advancement Initiative, and he joins us from our Abuja studio. Good morning to you, Mr. Okpanachi.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It is our pleasure. Give me your first thoughts on this matter, because I see that, first of all, I described you as Social Transparency and Youth Leadership Advancement Initiative. That's one interested party. I've also seen that Labour people are also, in their own rights, saying that they also have issues with it. That how about the production? How about the marketing? How about the business? Hundreds of thousands of people could lose their job. Give me your first thoughts on this whole matter about no more sachet-packed alcoholic drinks.
Well, I think it is important first for us to look at its value to the economy, then the process of the introduction of this policy without recourse to stakeholders' engagement, as it were, and abandoning the processes that have been involved in ensuring that this thing is holistically done. First and foremost, it is important to note that while the Senate have issued this order through NAFDAC, it is important for you to also know that the House of Representatives have not concluded on the deliberations with respect to this issue. Then, like earlier mentioned, it is important to also note that about 500,000 direct jobs may be lost if this is done, and 5 million indirect jobs through adverts, vending, and other sources. Now, if you look at this, it brings us to the point of trying to cure a problem and creating another problem. What am I trying to say here? Imagine with the current unemployment index of Nigeria, any sector at this moment still add to the unemployment rate. Then that is not just the factor that militates the civil society's move against it. What about the 1.9 trillion investment that will go down the drain without any plan of people recouping their money from whatever has been invested in ensuring that these items are produced? In a nutshell, it might interest you to note that the supervisory ministry also is already I've given a directive of 1-year extension. So I wonder why the haste by NAFDAC attempting to go on this ban, most importantly without recourse to the economic implication of its effect on our employment and investment indices here.
But this action was planned for 2024, I beg your pardon, but was then postponed. NAFDAC has said that there will be no further postponement. It's been postponed once.
Yes. What led to the postponement is still yet on ground. And that is how to cushion the effects of its spillover. Spillover in unemployment, in creating great gap of unemployment and loss of investment. And besides, we are talking about this. Why are we in a haste in attempting to stop this when I think the proper thing to do is a holistic regulatory action where it will be targeted at educating the populace on who is and who is not supposed to engage in the consumption of this alcohol. For example, I expect NAFDAC, if they will do this, should first go ahead to ban cigarette, that it is written on cigarette that it causes cancer. And it's cheaper than these things we are saying. One cigarette stick is about 70 naira to 100 naira. And it is available on the street by vendors and every other person. Even the bottled drink, if we are talking of adulteration, which I don't think is part of the things they are mentioning as reasons for the ban, all alcoholic beverages, Star, Gouda, and all those whatnot, have different adulteration and fake production of this thing in circulation. I think their effort should be more on their statutory duty of ensuring that the right one should be available, and great caution should be taken to who should consume what. I can give you an example. If NAFDAC channeled this energy in the ban on the production and the consumption of amphetamine, which is ice, as it is called, I think it would do us a great good. In fact, the alcoholic consumption they are talking about, ice is being used by younger people in some communities where mining are becoming prevalent to source for energy to be able to carry on the job. I am aware of a community that my organization have done a research on, even though the research is ongoing. There is coal mining in a community in Kogi State, and you have a whole lot of youth dying and suffering from effects of amphetamine. Yet, it has not been curbed, and it is coming in great numbers to our society. I think the control method used in drug accessibility should be used on this rather than saying that you are going to throw people out of job and throwing the economy into a great unemployment gap that will have a security implication on our coexistence as a people. Imagine throwing 500,000 people out of job at this point that we are looking at recruiting people into jobs.
Let me come in here, sir. Let me come in quickly, sir. Let me come in quickly, sir. There is not an outright ban on alcohol consumption. There is not, the liquors. I don't recall the brands, but a brand that I have mentioned earlier is one of them, and I think there are quite a number of them are in there. There is no ban on alcohol production, packaging, and selling, except in those little sachets. I can't remember exactly now how many millimeters are supposed to be in there.
Milliliters, yes.
Yes. So how many? I don't think you have more than a shot.
I think it's 200 below.
No.
200 milliliters below, I think.
That's for bottles. When NAFDAC was explaining that, we are saying that any packaging that is below 200 millimeters in volume, sorry, no more, because it's too easily concealable. You don't want people slipping in 1 or 2 sachets into their school sachets, their school bags, because it's going to be a lot harder to do with a bottle the way it was. And this is a new phenomenon. Marketing continues to evolve. They kept on breaking down, as you know. I think now sugar is like that. You have little sachets of sugar, little sachets of this, and little sachets. Milk have come out in these little powdered milk. But NAFDAC was underlining that this is not a punitive measure. It's a protective one. And when you say hundreds of thousands of jobs, well, maybe you've studied the question better than me, but just taking the sachet out, they didn't take anything out. They didn't say, don't produce again. It's just that don't produce in those easily obtainable and easily concealable forms. So I don't know how you're looking at it. I don't know how you're looking at it.
I'm looking at it the same way. I'm looking at it the same way.
Up to 500,000 jobs might be in jeopardy?
Yes. I'm looking at it in this way, that the same reason why Cowbell first introduced sachet milk and Peak Milk and others follow suit eventually.
Yes.
As a means of easing affordability for those, in quote, those that uses it.
Yes.
So, if you are saying they shouldn't produce this, it means the sales, as it were, may drop. And coping with the production capacity that they have, what will they be producing with their sachet packaging system? Are they going to start packaging water in those line of production? Or they start packaging what?
Now, you remind me, water is part of this as well. Water also is in sachets.
If water is part of it. Okay, now it means you are going to even make the cost of the affordability of those even essential or non-essential, as it were, a bit difficult. If you say there's no sachet water, I think the control, like I have said, will be the most important way to go. Control usage in terms of alcohol and control disposal method of water if it is an environmental factor that leads to the proposed ban on sachet water. Then, coming back to the alcohol, which is the major thing we are talking about here today, it is also important to note that if strict measures are taken and civil society and other stakeholders are engaged in the process of this attempt ban on the production of these things, the government would have a better idea of what to do. But to just rush with jet speed at saying that by December we are going to phase them out, it will spell a lot of economic doom, which I have earlier outlined and adumbrated. And it is important to also note that, like I said, there are a whole lot of things that NAFDAC could deal with this perceived energy than this. Because if you are able to curb this or through this ban enforced to stop production of these things, I'm telling you, it will even get worse because people will resort to taking raw ogogoro, the one that is not refined, the one that is not calibrated, the one that is not even approved by NAFDAC themselves.
Local gin, aka ogogoro, is now highly refined. You can ask for the highly refined version of it. That was just by the way, sir. You know, you can actually ask. I've been told that these things, there are a bunch of young people who, you know, have started, you know, small factories, and they are refining and bottling this refined local gin, I think made from palm wine. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. The refining and bottling of ogogoro does not make it purer than whatever system of production is engaged in this one that is about to be. But what I'm saying is that the consumption direction will eventually change to those unpackaged ogogoro that we are afraid of youths and young people running to. Okay. And another factor I see here is that
one moment, sir.
If
one moment, Jacob, one moment, please. I have a call. Mr. Joshua in Irewolede, how do you like your poison, sir? In bottle or in sachet?
I greet you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I quite enjoy the fact that even the bottle is something else. I would rather stay away from bottle or sachet.
Okay.
Because alcohol is not a friend to the body. Ultimately, we know.
Okay.
So, I will just lend your guest. He's looking at the economic value and defending it from that area.
Yes.
But you should widen its scope. You see, the problem here is when you go for such alcohol, there's a target audience. That's the problem. There's a target audience. And the target audience here are mostly the youth. And then drivers, motor parks.
That's
and all
it.
These things.
Motor parks especially.
The point where alcohol are abused and where those abuses have fatal consequences on the economy.
Okay.
So he's talking about economy in the sense of somebody who sets up a factory.
Yes.
What about
the industrial
money
aspect of it, the labor aspect of it?
Is he now looking at, is he aware that actually alcohol abuse actually demoralizes or demobilizes the youth? It disincentivises the youth. When people abuse alcohol, they are prone to crime rather than being productive.
Okay.
So the issue has social consequences much more than the economic value he's talking about. And those people can re-strategize. Instead of packaging in those sachets, they should revert back to bottle. It's not like you are sending people out of the market. I know those machines can be modified, and then they can repackage them and do them well. But they should do something about it. It's not good for the economy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Okpanachi, how about, since NAFDAC is saying that any bottle that is less than 200 millimeters in volume, no, we don't want those anymore. I don't know that there are those kind of bottles, but can't they just think of go to 205 millimeters and problem circumvented? I don't know. But surely you know that alcohol is a danger. You've spoken about that already, that you're saying that maybe you can have a more holistic approach, an educational campaign. But alcoholism, yes, but with the youths who can now afford this broken down packaging, because I doubt if there's more than, in fact, that thing is going to be somewhere around 200 millimeters or maybe less. Maybe about 100. I wish I had checked before coming on air. But certainly if NAFDAC is saying that so far as it is below 200 millimeters in volume, it's banned. Therefore, it means that bottles of around 205 or 210 or 220, whatever, will have circumvented it. But before you answer, sir, let me bring on Mr. George. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. And greetings to the guests.
Yes.
Uncle Yori, Mr. Joshua has already said what some of the things I wanted to say.
Okay.
I am just tired, Uncle Yori, of this warped agreement we keep on seeing in our country. Some people will tell you, okay, the other person did it, he was not punished. Why is it me that I'm doing it now that you want to punish? Does that make what you have done to be right? Now, NAFDAC gave a reason, and the Senate also gave a reason why this sachet should be banned from circulation. And the guest does not appear to be concerned with those reasons. Our youth have been captured by drug addiction, and the impact on the humanity in Nigeria is very, very high. Why should a parent not be concerned with that? is concerned with how much money can be made from it. It is not right. See, those sachets, the students take it to secondary schools. Some of them are even found in primary schools now. They are mixing it with tramadol to get high. And you see some people driving, after mixing those things to drive, they cause danger to themselves and to other people in the society. And the effects of drug, you can only quantify it if you were in the profession to see what it really does to the society.
Okay.
If you have to buy a bottle of a dry gin, for example, you know you cannot put it inside your bag and go to school.
No, you can't. That's the point. NAFDAC make that point.
So that is just a precaution to make sure the circulation of these things do not go too much into the... If I were the governor, I would ban it entirely. We can do without alcohol.
Okay. But we're in a democracy. We're in a democracy.
Yes, but if it is causing damage to the body, we can afford to.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George.
Well,
please go ahead.
To the two callers.
Yes.
And it's not as if I do not have the same concern. I have the same concern as they do. If you listen to me carefully, I have said there should be a holistic approach. Do you think banning this quantity is enough? I mentioned some other drugs. It might even shift the focus of highness within the youth to other drugs that are easily carried about. Are you telling me that it's easier to carry amphetamine around, more difficult to carry a sachet of drink around than amphetamine? No. What I'm trying to say by saying holistic here is we should go back to the root causes. It's not as if when we were youth, we are aware of the dangers of drink. It's not as if this started today. I remember in the 80s, there is Total Pack in the same sachet. Total Pack, White Horse, Dark Horse. They were in this sachet as at 80s. But the orientation of youth as at that time was to grow into becoming useful adults. And there was good education. There was good and conducive working environment for their parents. Now, if you see the youth consuming this thing, you will notice that a whole lot of them do not even have a good job to do. And those that are in school are doing so out of peer pressure. Now, if we go back to the basics, if government is busy creating jobs and creating the necessary atmosphere, I'm telling you, all these things will wipe away by themselves. But unfortunately, we have found ourselves where our economic problems have deepened, and the approach to solving them are diverse. So, if we intend to solve this problem, I think outright ban on this particular grade is not what is going to solve it. What is going to solve it is to have a holistic view from a stakeholder's point of view. What do we do?
One moment, sir. I'm going to give you the space. I'm so sorry to jump in like that. I beg your pardon. Well, I'm going to give you the time to explain that. But I have Eric in Kaduna waiting to join the program. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning. Good morning. Am I being heard?
Yes, you are being heard. You are on air now.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
The guest there. Good
morning.
My take on this actually is, that if, the guest there, if he wants to be sincere, and has done much more.
Oh, I wonder if research was the word you were looking for. If our guest had done, but he couldn't get it out before that call, sort of snapped, Maybe he would have been, he wanted to say research. I don't know. If he comes back, we'll take him. In the meantime, we'll take a quick break. Mr. Jacob Okpanachi, please stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, our guest is still Mr. Jacob Okpanachi, and we are looking at the subject matter of the resolve intention of NAFDAC to ban outright the sale of alcoholic beverages in sachets. Some of them, I just was, sort of, I just was checking while we were away, and it's anywhere from what, 30, I don't know if 30 millimeters is the same as 37.5 cl, but no wonder NAFDAC is saying that we have no problem as long as you don't come under 200 ml bottle of packaging. They don't want it in those cellophane sachets that are selling very, very strongly all across Nigeria. Both premium brands. In fact, when it started, I'm not sure that premium brands were involved, but when they saw that it caught on, everybody has got involved. So here we are, Mr. Jacob Okpanachi has been telling us about the economic effect. As I've also been reading online in the press, that there's also a labor aspect. Mr. Okpanachi has given us some scary figures here himself by telling us that how many did you say, up to 500,000 jobs just for taking
500,000 direct jobs and 5 million indirect jobs
from just the sachet, not the entire production of the beverage.
That is what it is.
Okay.
Yes.
So you think that
because their production line for the sachet
is different.
Production line for the advertisement, vending, and all whatnot.
The different bottle sizes.
Yes.
That's what you are saying. Okay. So 30.
Yes.
Mr. Muritala in Ilorin. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Go ahead, please.
You see. Let's go. I want to look at it on religious aspect. Wow. Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. You see, at religious angle, a certain religion says don't drink at all. Another religion says minimize your drinking, meaning that the two is not good. The two do not support the consumption of alcohol, whether don't drink at all or drink a little. See, control your drinking. Fine. Now let us look at it at another angle, economic angle for the government.
Okay, because I was going to say, sir, that the first reason you advanced, NAFDAC did not even go there at all. It is not concerned with religious angles at all.
Angle I look at it.
They're just concerned with the health. NAFDAC made the point that this is not punitive. This is not punitive.
Yeah.
It's a matter of being protective.
Understand? I understand that. Come to economic angle now. There are certain amount of money charged on production that brings money, internally generated revenue for the government. Is it not going to reduce our income when we look at what the government expects monetarily? Thirdly, you see, the after effect of consumption on these consumers too, they have problems. Some go wayward. A drunk man does not remain a normal man. Somebody that is drunk.
Yeah, but it's not everybody that drinks alcohol that becomes drunk.
Most of them, at least I can say 70% or even more than that. There's no area, there's no lunku, there's no city that you don't see the consumption. Most of them get drunk. You see, where you take little, and you take plenty. It's always it affects the brain.
Okay. I hear you, sir.
Anybody that has taken something different from what the body needs becomes abnormal.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Along the line, you see that banning this sachet, to me, is not even enough. Let the bottle too be banned and the cost be more.
Oh.
So the affordability will be reduced.
Let the bottle too be banned. In other words, let all those distilleries, let them close down.
They may not necessarily close down. They let them increase their production on bigger bottles and higher costs.
Okay.
So everybody will not be able to afford it.
Thank you very much for calling in, sir. Because that affordability that even a child can afford to pick up a sachet or two is part of what NAFDAC says it has to be protective of the society about. It's not about punishing the society, so says NAFDAC. It's about protecting the society. And all arms of when I say all arms of government, it does have this ring as if there's a certain matter of officialdom surrounding our drinking habits. But no, that's not really the case. It's just that they feel that they have to come in because it is the sachets make it too widely and easily available. So the reasoning goes. And Jacob Okpanachi has been explaining to us that there is also the other aspect, which is what his emphasis seems to be. There's a commercial, an industrial, and indeed a labor aspect to this whole matter in terms of jobs. In fact, Mr. Okpanachi went as far as saying that up to 500,000 jobs. That is a figure that astounded me. So carry on, Mr. Okpanachi.
Yes.
Carry on, please.
Yes, like I was saying, it's important to also note that drug demand reduction is not an affair of total ban. I classify it as drug because since it alters your...
It is a drug.
Psychology.
Alcohol is a drug, sir. No apologies necessary. Alcohol is a drug.
Yeah, in fact, I might briefly inform you that I'm a drug demand reduction expert. I have a training from United Nations Office of Drug and Crime. And I understand that it is drug. But you see, even the medical prescriptions we get, there are some of them that are tainted with the drugs that we run away from. An abuse of it, even Panadol, an abuse of it becomes a problem to the consumer. So, what am I trying to bring out here? Like I still said, the onus is on government to, as I'm speaking with you here, as I'm leaving this studio now, I'll be attending a drug demand reduction program that is ongoing as I'm talking to you by ICRIP.
Yeah.
And you see a whole lot of youth there being trained on how to abstain or stay away from drugs. I think if our education line is tilted towards that, it will now become a matter of personal consent to either choose to do or choose not to do.
Okay.
But when you start classifying them and enforcing, you will see that it becomes more sorted after. Most of the drugs that government have put in ban are the ones many people are running after. I used amphetamine as an example earlier. A whole lot of youths that are in the mining industry, in fact, underage, are taking a lot of these harder drugs than alcohol to be able to cope with the work they do in those mining sites. And nobody is looking at that. In fact, that is far, far more unproductive to our economy than attempting to ban this sachet drink that we are attempting to ban. And like I said, summarily, it's important that there should be a holistic approach. The House of Rep cannot be on the process of deliberation on an issue, and the Senate have already concluded on it. Then our bicameral legislation standard is shrinking in that case. It shows that there is no coherence.
Okay. Well, I hear you, but the NAFDAC made its case quite simple. That's why I'm stating it again for the third time. That it's not punitive. It's a health matter. The the packaging of such. What right now? I just checked on. I just looked on one of those sites just now, and I see that it's between 30 mil and 37.5 mil. NAFDAC itself has said that to show that we're not banning this thing, if it's in a 500 millimeter bottle, nobody's going to ask you any questions. They're not saying that we don't want alcohol again in this society. Some of us are saying that, some of us, but that's religious, and it doesn't really count when it comes to our civil life, and everybody is supposed to be responsible in fact, you see, drink responsibly. The problem here, I think, is that when these manufacturers, and that's what distillers are in this case, when these manufacturers come up with this new product, they then put a lot of promotion behind it to push it far and wide, and because it is so highly affordable, the very reason that made powdered milk that was not as affordable before, sugar that was not affordable, now common, so that people are dispensing this, let that not be the case for alcohol as well. It is injurious, and I think NAFDAC has studied it and has seen that this is going to be a dent in the supply chain for 12, 14, 16-year-olds who decide that I don't even need to go to the sideboard anymore to just steal a sip from Papa's whiskey bottle. I can buy my own. I don't know what the prices are. I can buy my own. I think that is the point that NAFDAC is saying. We're not saying ban it. We're saying that we can't make it as easily available. Around the world, you don't allow underage people to drink. Around the world, not just in Nigeria. And so to that extent,
yes.
Would you not say that this also fits into that around the world syndrome of limiting the access that minors have to, alcohol, which is injurious to their health?
Like I had continuously said, control should be the answer.
Okay.
Control in the sense that in America, in UK, if you are drunk, you don't drive. If you have even taken alcohol, you dare not drive. It's better you let your friend drive you home, because at every police checkpoint, you will be tested for alcohol if there is a perceived insinuation that you have it. And once you are done, you get charged for it. So, if we told that same line from the fear of people using it, the categories of the age using it, of course, if punitive measures are used, because on every sachet of drink, I say, I believe it is written on it that it should not be taken by a particular age grade. It's there on it. If you see their advert, not to be taken by people less than 18 or thereabouts, it's written on it. So this is enough effort to show that there is concern for the particular age grade that is the subject matter of this perceived issue that will be leading to NAFDAC's this thing. Now, the same thing goes for cigarette. If we say because of affordability, let's ban cigarette. It is written on cigarette. It's health we are talking about.
Sorry,
on cigarette,
sir.
You see it. Yes,
I hear what you're saying.
It is written on cigarette that
I think they were
cigarette smoking causes cancer. You even see picture.
That is a health issue.
We're
talking about
heart.
Sorry, sir. That is a health issue, and you are very right. Packets of cigarettes have horrible pictures on them to show the effect of smoking, which could happen to you. But cigarettes don't intoxicate you. Alcohol does. And there's a big difference. So I don't think you can speak about cigarettes and alcohol in the same breath in this concern. You don't get intoxicated by cigarettes.
But health is involved.
Health is involved. But let me see what Mr. Abbasi in Gombe. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Abbasi calling from Gombe State.
Okay.
Uncle Yorio, sincerely speaking, you are doing a fantastic job.
You're very kind, sir.
I don't miss this program because I learned a lot of things from you and your caller. Like last time it was Ini, and now it's him you are interviewing. Yes, my point is that the Senate have outrightly go for the ban of sachet. Why not outrightly go for the ban of the bottle? It's because they are taking it. If they are not taking it, they must ensure that it is not in circulation. Just like they tell us about cigarette smoking is dangerous, and they write it there. Why not completely eradicate it? And I also want to appreciate, there's a woman who was in charge of NAFDAC, I think Akiwili or something like that.
Dora Akiwili of blessed memory.
Like that in government, that is when we see a transformation. If not, we will not. Now, this is what I have to say. How long do we have to wait for justice? Must we die before we get justice? And this alcohol is a drug. It's drug. Because there is a man here living my next door neighbor. When he gets drunk, you see him falling into the pit. And his children, they will come and...
But Mr. Abbasi, it's not... Mr. Abbasi, I hear you, Mr. Abbasi. I hear you.
To skyrocket the amount.
But Mr. Abbasi...
To the reach of people.
Don't let us...
Thank you, Mr. Yorio. I really appreciate your effort and your guest here.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure we both appreciate your comments. I was going to make the point to Mr. Abbasi, which I've made to you earlier, that the mere fact that a person takes a wee dribble, as the Scots would say, and just, a small shot, that doesn't mean you are drunk. And NAFDAC is saying, go ahead and take your little shot. But let it not come out of the 30 millimeter, if that is milliliter, CL. I must really find out what the CL and what the ML mean when they attach it to drinks. But, we just have to look at this with dispassion. The madam who heads up NAFDAC has emphasized that this is not punitive. It is preventive, and it is all about the health. But then you, sir, are coming with, be that as it may, how about the massive investment, I imagine it must be massive, that has gone into the equipment, the machinery, the factories, and all of that that produce this thing. That's what you are saying. And quite frankly, the figure you quoted, 500 million jobs in the first instance, and then you said by extension another 500,000 somewhere else. No, everybody is going to take some pause when they hear that. I'm not too sure about those figures. Are we? Talk to me a bit more about this.
It's verifiable.
I see. Verifiable. That suddenly
yes.
up to 500 million Nigerians might be out of a job as a result of this health drive.
5 million, not 500 million. 5 million.
Okay, 5 million is still bad. Thank you very much for
500,000 direct job, 5 million indirect employment.
Okay. So you think government should take...
And for your information, the GDP from alcohol sales in Nigeria contributes to our economy, $2.3 billion.
Do you know how much of that is accounted for by these 30 mil sachets? Because I'm sure it's going to be... tell, but I'm sure it's going to be the entire production.
What makes up that figure?
It's going to be the entire production of the alcoholic beverages industry.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I cannot say exactly what comes from sachet, but it still adds up to make that figure.
Okay, because for the avoidance of doubt, alcohol is not being banned, though. Nobody has said that we are banning the sale.
I know, but a part of it.
Yes, a part of it that is too easily accessible by minors. You are saying
yes, not just minors, adults too access it. And I've given an idea of how to curb the excesses of it, most especially the fear from use by drivers, which is one of the things mentioned.
Yes, well, but
there should be a check. It's just like...
Those are adults.
It's just like...
Those are...
Yes, it's just like when we were younger in my school. The teachers check as much as our teeth when we come to the school every assembly morning. In the school I attended, your nails cannot grow beyond normal.
Yes.
And you appearing on assembly ground in the morning.
That's right.
So if all those statutory measures for checking the well-being of students are
those
taken,
are not statutory measures. Those are just regulations, school regulations.
School regulations, rather.
Yes.
Are taken to ensure that students stay within the framework of being decent.
Yes.
I think this work will not go far. I told you that Total Park was existing when I was in primary school in the 80s.
All right.
Dark Horse was in Sachet. In fact, at that time, I think they were imported. I can't really tell.
Yeah.
A whole lot of them were available. In fact, there were sweets that had gin when we were small.
Yes.
But we, as well-brought-up children, never attempted taking it.
Okay.
Because we had the precaution of alcohol.
Our training from home.
It is a total failure.
The training from
moral
home.
standard that had led to people of underage engaging in what we are talking about. They are engaging in a lot of other things. It's just that alcohol is the subject matter here. Yes. A whole lot of younger people of this generation.
Okay, I must hear what Chris in Abuja wants to say. Chris in Abuja, apologies. Please go ahead, Chris.
It was not so.
Chris, go ahead.
Chief Fury.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Chief Fury.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I called you yesterday, but we're on another topic today. You advised that people should take a little wine. 30 cl is a little wine. 30 cl in a sachet is not too much. It's a little wine. And I had you offer the advice. Somebody who takes 30 cl can still multiply if he chooses to. So the best bet is what is done in the case of cigarette smoking. Issue a disclaimer.
But I've said that cigarettes don't intoxicate. They wreak havoc with your health.
30 cl is a little wine.
All right.
I want you to appreciate, which you advise.
I appreciate it. Yes. But our children can slip it into their school bag. Well, I'm afraid they tell us that we've almost used up all our time. But
but just a moment before you drop, please. Okay. I want the contact of that man. He made a very strong point. I wish to contact him. The man, the guest himself.
Okay. All right. No problem. I'm sure.
Let him reach me. Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. We'll see what we can do from the production end.
Yes,
We've run out of time. Thank you very much, sir. We've run out of time. So I'm sorry, sir. You must, thank you very much. Mr. Kwanachi, we've got to go now.
Yes.
So your final words on this, because this is not going to be the last conversation. I'm sure we're going to have more conversations on this.
But final,
on the 1st of January 2026, no more sachet if the authorities don't change their mind.
Yes, my final word is government should not create more problems upon the problems that we have.
Okay.
There should be a holistic view at this policy of banning alcohol in sachet. There should be an introspect on what is expected to be done. Then there should be a stakeholders engagement.
All right.
Not just a mere stakeholders engagement, civil society, government
not
agencies,
just handing it down.
In fact,
not just handing it down. We've run out of time. I'm so sorry, but I still have the time to thank you very much, Mr. Jacob Okwanachi, for coming on our program. Really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Okay, that's our program. I suspect we'll be revisiting this somewhere down the line, maybe weeks, maybe months. But that's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.